Picture the Lakers, one of the league's most talked about teams, shot just 5 for 31 from the three-point line. With shooting numbers like that, you'd expect them to struggle, right? Maybe even lose? But no, they dominated the second seed in the West. I know, sounds crazy, right? If someone told me that, I wouldn't believe it. But the reason behind this unexpected outcome is actually something pretty fascinating that we like to call math. Now stay with me here, we're not just talking about statistics for the sake of numbers. We're talking about using those stats strategically. Thanks to math, or rather a strategic use of it, the Lakers pulled off this win even with terrible shooting numbers. And we're going to break down exactly how it went down and what it means for their season moving forward here on Sports Frenzy TV. To start, you'll know math isn't usually the hot topic in coaching conversations. In fact, many coaches don't exactly broadcast it. But there's one guy in the NBA right now who's pretty much making it his mission to change that, JJ Redick. Now, Redick is bringing a fresh perspective to the court with a new philosophy that zeroes in on something called corner crashing. This strategy is designed to get second chance opportunities, so even if you're missing a lot of three-pointers, you still have a strong chance to win the game. It's about getting the ball back after a missed shot instead of giving it to the other team and watching them rack up points. The numbers speak for themselves. In this particular game, the Lakers managed 10 more shots than their opponent, with 3 more offensive rebounds and 8 fewer turnovers. All of this thanks to Redick's focus on corner crashing. So let's talk about what corner crashing is. Imagine a shot goes up from the corner, but instead of watching from the outside, a player from the opposite side goes in, anticipating that miss and going after the rebound. Think of it as a calculated attack on the ball's rebound path. This strategy has been clutch for the Lakers, and it's a big part of how they're maintaining momentum even with shooting struggles. To show you how it works, let's go over a few specific plays. In one instance, we had Rui Hachimura with the ball in the right corner, going up for a 3. Now, if you've ever watched Hachimura play, you know he's not afraid to take those shots. But here's where it gets interesting. While he's shooting, Austin Reaves is positioning himself perfectly to anticipate the miss, crash from the other side, and go straight for the rebound. And that's exactly what he does. He goes up, grabs the rebound right behind Rudy Gobert, and then immediately kicks it out to D'Angelo Russell for a second chance shot. This isn't just one lucky play. It's a pattern that's emerging with the Lakers this season. Now, there's another example I want to highlight to help you guys really see what corner crashing is all about. Picture D'Angelo Russell shooting from the corner. Again, the Lakers know they haven't been stellar from 3, so Rui Hachimura is already primed to go in and crash the corner when Russell releases the ball. When the shot doesn't go in, Hachimura rushes the corner, grabs that board, and takes it straight back up. That second chance point is a direct result of this strategy. These plays, as simple as they seem, show that the Lakers now have a clear identity, and it's one that was missing last season. Having a defined team identity matters because when you don't know what you stand for, you tend to flounder, which is exactly what happened to the Lakers last season. This year, they're specializing in crashing the glass and controlling those second chance opportunities, which is a huge improvement over the confusion we saw before. Now, switching gears for a moment, let's talk about the coaching shift that's helping to shape this identity. We're seeing a really interesting contrast between JJ Redick and Darvin Ham. Last season, some of Ham's coaching moments were a little questionable. For example, he often didn't call timeouts when things were going south, preferring to keep his hands in his pockets rather than getting involved mid-game. Redick, on the other hand, isn't just a tactical thinker. He's also a pretty effective motivator. In one timeout, he's encouraging the players, telling them they're getting great shots, and even if they're not landing, he reassures them that they will eventually go in. Now, I don't want to claim to be an expert in motivational speaking, but Redick has a certain style that fuels authentic, and it seems to be resonating with the team. It's not just about saying what the players want to hear, he's backing it up with tactical adjustments on the court. And speaking of adjustments, Redick is going all in on Anthony Davis, setting up plays that let AD take control and find the weaker defender. We're talking about something called the inverted pick and roll, where instead of AD setting a screen, is the one coming off of it. Redick wants to get Davis onto a weaker defender and get him an open shot or an easy drive. The inverted pick and roll allows Davis to use his size and agility in ways that put defenders on their heels, making him a bigger offensive threat. This isn't just talk, we're seeing it in action. In one game after a timeout, Redick called an inverted pick and roll where AD got a screen from Austin Reeves, putting him up against Mike Conley. The result? A clean mid-range jumper. Plays like this one show that Redick's approach to using Davis is unlocking a whole new level for him, and Davis is clearly feeling it. After a recent game, he even went so far as to suggest that his defensive performances might be in the Defensive Player of the Year category. The confidence is there, and the plays are backing it up. But it's not just defense where Davis is shining. He's also nailing fadeaway shots, creating space even against top defenders. The other night, he was able to put up a fadeaway in the face of a former Defensive Player of the Year, showing off that balance of power and finesse that makes him such a dangerous player. We're even seeing him attempt more three-pointers, something Redick is encouraging to give the Lakers more range and make defenses respect AD's outside shot. Another interesting storyline this season is the media attention on Rui Hachimura. There's been a lot of talk about how he needs to step up, but Redick isn't buying into that narrative. Instead, he's focusing on Hachimura's impact on winning. Hachimura's performance speaks for itself. 18 points, 5 rebounds, and a combined total of 3 steals and blocks, making him a plus 19 on the night. This kind of play is exactly what the Lakers need from their wing players: solid defense, high energy, and 3-level scoring. And with Redick's coaching style, this Lakers team isn't about throwing a player under the bus when things get tough. Take D'Angelo Russell for example. He had a rough shooting night, hitting only 33% from the field. But rather than benching him, Redick allowed Russell to focus on other aspects of his game, like defense and facilitating for his teammates, ending with 5 assists and 2 steals. It's clear that Redick values players who find ways to contribute even when their shot isn't falling. LeBron James is also adapting to this more team-focused style. He might not have scored 20 points, but he put in work on the boards, dished out assists, and even nailed the crucial 3-pointer late in the game. And remember, this guy is 39 years old, yet he's still finding ways to make an impact without dominating the scoreboard. And finally, Austin Reeves has been an absolute workhorse on the glass. He finished with 9 rebounds thanks in part to his dedication to chasing down loose balls and crashing the corner. This team-first mentality is becoming the Lakers' new calling card, and you can bet that this approach is going to win them some games they would have lost last season. With guys like Jackson Hayes providing pick-and-roll support and Christian Wood likely coming back soon, the Lakers have more depth than they did last year. This depth, combined with a focused, math-driven approach from Redick, is changing the way this team operates. In the end, it all comes down to what JJ Redick is teaching this team. Winning takes care of everything. And if you understand how to use math and strategy on the court, you can turn even a rough shooting night into a victory. That's the takeaway, folks. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and big thanks for joining us in this video. Catch you legends in the next one.